thing, but he picked it up for like $5 grand, and everyone thought his people had money. Ooh, that is a mistake. Yep, I Roscoe'd it. Look at me, everybody. I am Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane. That was barely even. Oh, what even?
That's smart.
Cryptis, what is going on? It is me, Mississippi Gonzo Grunge, aka Rick Redcorn, and welcome to the Benefactor Glendale collection. As I will be reviewing all Glendales, and we'll see how well it goes over. But as for that other big one, that one will probably be featured in this video, but also be featured in the monster truck video because it does qualify as a monster truck. So there's that. But here we are. So I will say this is based off of the old Mercedes diesel sedans from back in the 80s. If you know what I'm talking about, congratulations. Some of y'all might be a little bit young to know what that is, but basically, Mercedes put a diesel motor off in these little sedans. Which, funny enough, this came out during the old I'm Not a Hipster update. So we got something to look forward to. And it can get up everything. Oh my goodness gracious. I was not expecting that. But then again, this is my first time actually reviewing this vehicle. So you do have, your standard customization with this, as this did come out with excuse me. This did come out with the hipster update. But, as we move on, you'll see how far we've progressed. Excuse me yet again. Come on, get it out of the water. Let's not Roscoe ourselves. But yeah, I will say this car does have quite a bit of understeer, so do watch it. Even though in the slower speeds it does have, fairly responsive steering. But if you go to jump on it, like really get down on it, you're going to feel that understeer, especially on the dirt. Which I will say this, you want to be a better driver in Grand Theft Auto, in whatever vehicle you want to be better at. Learn to drive on the dirt and not the street. You'll see what I mean. It will make a big difference as you will improve your driving.
The apex predator in action.
So I want to say I can help with that. If you want to see a guide on that, hey, do let me know down below. But the only reason why I'm doing all these collection videos is because I don't want to spend all my time making off-road reviews, because that's a bit overkill. Yeah, let's not get it stuck in the water. Yeah, that thing's ride height's not going to let it work out. But it does have enough traction to get out of all tight spaces. And by the way, this is the stock height, but if you get the race suspension, it drops it all the way down. But it does make it around the Wall of Doom. Which, why do I call this the Wall of Doom? Well, a lot of vehicles have completely met their fates here. That's the other thing too, it will flip. Which, that reminds me, I want to say this was another vehicle that me and Slade had definitely used for, stunt work. Because for some reason, Slade would be in the city and he would grab one of these, and then he would just bring them out to the country and we would just completely destroy them. Because, it actually was that much of a fun car to drive around in. Because we never really used the movie cars until it was till the day of filming. But, in terms of actual driving, well, this would be your best bet. But yeah, she will get down.
Deer.
And that's a deer.
Deer.
That's a deer, and those are trees. But yeah, you're about to see what I mean by the whole... Well, that's if it's... Yeah, it's still turnable. See? It's got quite a bit of understeer if you let it slide out too long. So there is that. Ooh, that's a Griswold. Yeah, the Griswold. That was another thing me and Slade never got to do, was our own version of like the National Lampoon films. But I think we might be actually pulling that off. But I will say this. It has the front end of an old, it's an old Caprice sedan, which they did make those. That's one thing we need, is like an actual, like, for real donks. Another Impaler. Which some of y'all are going, bro, no more Impalers. Well, you never know what could come out during the summer. As we floor it upwards. And there she goes. But yeah, this is definitely one of those vehicles you just have to try out for yourself. Definitely one of those vehicles that, you know, I would say get one of these if you want it for like the Arena Wars or a lowrider. You know, I would say do that, but you know, this ain't a half bad sedan. You know, if you want to do movie skits with it, then hey, be my guest. I'm not forcing you to buy one of these. That was always the fun part. It's like, oh yeah, I actually like one of these. Somebody got mad over that years ago, and it's like, I'm not sticking a gun to your head forcing you to buy it. You know, as surprisingly that is, and, well, while this is rolling down the hill like Roscoe P. Coltrane, we're going to cut to the next off-road review vehicle. So, let's go on ahead and jump to it. Alright, so here I am with the Benefactor Glendale Custom, which it is a Benny's vehicle. Now, I happen to get this one through the auto shop, which you can do that, or, you know, it does happen to save you having to buy the car itself. You know, directly through Benny. So, yeah, I do recommend getting the auto shop if you want some custom vehicles. But, you know, off-roading with lowriders. Now, will I ever come back and do another off-road set with lowriders? Probably so, or, you know, maybe not. Because there's so many of them. But the one thing about lowriders is, you know, even if you're just off-roading with one of these, guess what? You come up to something like that up ahead, guess what? Hydraulics. You know, it's kind of like that Ready Lift they made for trucks a while back. I believe that's what it's called, and basically, it's kind of like hydraulics mixed with airbags, so, you know, such as it is. Yeah, I didn't put a custom horn on it. But, yeah. That's one way of looking at it. That's the other thing, too, with the Benefactor that I've noticed is the lack of traction. But you can always restart and try again. You know, much like in off-roading, if it doesn't go up the first time, find another path. Or get it set down somewhere level and then go up it. But yeah, I do have all the pumps maxed out. You know, granted, not get out of the weeds. You know, granted, are max pumps necessary? No, but it does make it easier. It does make going over stuff a lot easier. You know, such as it is. But yeah, like I said, most cars in this game do not like deep water. So sometimes you gotta jump and hope it makes it on the other side. You know, such as it is. And nice and up she goes. But yeah, you can also, you know, I'm pretty sure you probably bust hydraulics out like that. You know, in real life. You know, I have seen clips where, you know, the hydraulics just fail. They'll be right in the middle of hopping, and then all of a sudden, boom, they launched a shock through the hood. It's like, excuse me, but you just launched a shock through the firewall, through the hood, through a fender. Or God forbid they bouncing and the shit just bust out. And the tire's just, you know, completely messed up. It's limping. I have seen that, but you know, now you got that whole air ride suspension with air lockup where you can hit 3-wheel motion without having to worry about busting a suspension out. But then again, it does come down to what type of pumps you're running. So there is that. And it can't climb over? Yes, it climbed over it. Didn't think it was going to do that. But then again, I have reviewed lowriders on the off-road review before. But this is a part of a collection video, so you tend to see the OG vehicle first, followed by this one, and then the final one. But you know, still, you know, you get what you get. You get what you get. Nice and easy, up and over you go. See? You know, this one I'd say has the right amount of, you know, I think this thing might have a granny low in it. You know, that, you know, I want to, they actually did that on Roadkill with that Monte Carlo. Where they took it off-roading. And they put hydraulics on it. That was actually a fun episode. It's like, hey Slade, let's do that. And Slade's like, let's do it. Except we use a Lincoln Town car. I'll just say this, those Lincoln Town cars do make great lowriders because of the frames in them. Now that's another car that should be a lowrider, is the Emperor. I'm surprised that one never got made into a Benny's vehicle or a donk. And I do say donk in reference to the game, you know, not the actual car itself in real life. You know, that one should definitely been made it should have been made both, you know, much like the Willard faction. But, you know, who knows? Maybe they'll do that over the summer. It's like, hey, we're adding in the lowrider, we're adding in the Emperor as a lowrider. Because I have one in my garage, well, in my nightclub garage, because that's where I keep other vehicles. Excuse me. But anyway. But yes, I say this thing has the right amount of speed, traction, and ride height to take on most off-road trails in this game. I say most. I gotta make that clear. Most. Not all of them. You know, such as it is. But I think that's where I'll just stop with this one, because, you know, when we come back it will be morning time and I'll be doing the last Benefactor, which is the Arena War Benefactor. So, other than that, we're going to go ahead and jump into that video next, so let's cut to it. So here we are with the final vehicle in the Benefactor collection. Well, in the Glendale collection. This is the Bruiser that you get through the Arena War, which, like I say, these Arena War vehicles are not cheap. But this is what I did to mine. I figured, why not? I'm going to use this for like a redneck stoner comedy film me and Slade have planned out. So yeah. Now I did leave a bigger front ram on the front of it. I left a brush guard on the front of it because why not? So I left it. Will it cause problems? To an extent, no. And this particular vehicle is rear wheel drive, so you do have that. And if all else fails, that's what you do. The burnout trick. Basically, hold the gas in reverse, and you'll burn out. This thing's got quite a bit of travel on it. I'll just say that this thing has quite a bit of travel, but it does kind of lack power. So that might be this thing's downfall, but you know, it might be because of the front ram on it. But still. And it will actually, well, it got up it somewhat. But yeah, this thing handles heavy. It's heavy. It handles as such. But I do like that suspension work. But I kind of wonder, were they really going to release a limousine version of the Glendale? And here we see local meth heads fishing. You're holding that fishing rod backwards on a spinning reel of all things. You hold it upside down. Now hold it the right way. Yeah, you can tell this thing's got a whole lot of custom work in it. One gas tank. None on the other. It's got, well, yeah, I put the barrels on the back of it because, you know, it just looks goofy without something back there. I put the barrels back there because, you know, I figured, you know what, I'm going to use it for that particular film, so why not? So we do have that. Just all kinds of other crap. I haven't thought of it yet. But yes, I do plan on using this for a movie. You know, I'm not doing any Mad Max type movies at the moment because the map's not that big. If they ever did make a map expansion of like Bone County and Las Venturas, then yeah, I would most likely use that environment for a Mad Max type film. But not as it is. You know, that reminds me, I gotta get that vehicle. The Interceptor, because it is in this game. Such as it is. Climb up. Did it get hung? I think it got hung. Well, now let's just go ahead and give it some gas. Okay, it's hanging up right there. So, okay. Downfall, it's not that it doesn't sit high enough. Would I consider this a part of the monster truck category? I do. Some of y'all don't. I mean, it sits high enough. But, you know, such as it is. But then again, I probably won't include this in the monster truck collection. Just keep it as is. And around the wall of doom it goes. It's going to drag bottom, you know, just as it is. It will drag bottom, but still, at least it will get through things. You know, granted its lack of steering, because this thing handles like a tractor as I rolled it. Thank you. You know, thank goodness this ain't like the old Grand Theft Auto games where you rolled it, get out of the car and run. Because if that happened, buddy, you might as well get clear of that car as quick as you could. Because it was going to explode. Some people actually complain about that that's not a feature in the new ones. You know, maybe they'll bring it back in 6, but maybe they're trying to go for some sense of realism. But then again, I kind of understand why they added this stuff, because there was a bit of a there was kind of a thing with it where, you know, this is also kind of why we got flying vehicles now. It had something to do, it was like some political crap that they decided to add in a bunch of goofy looking stuff and science fiction levels of ridiculousness, just so that way the game wouldn't get pulled in the coming months. You know, understandable as that is. That's what I've heard. I ain't confirming this. Do not take my word for it. That's just what I heard through the grapevine. But, yeah, I mean, would I recommend getting this as an Arena War vehicle? I mean, you know, that's up to you. I only got it because, A, I kind of wanted to do a movie with one of these, but also, well, but also, that's interesting. It's got a Mercury front end. It's got a bumper off of a Mercury. There is that other vehicle, the Cerberus, which that might be our new dual truck to use in the movie, but I don't know. I kind of want to stick to using a Black Phantom, but I might end up using the Cerberus. But, you know, steering-wise, this thing has tractor steering. It has tractor levels of steering, but then again, I don't expect this to turn like a Ferrari. But, you know, that is something to think about. Were they really going to make this a limo at one point? Like a Glendale limo? How's the inside of this look? Pretty standard. Pretty standard. I mean, the interior's nothing to brag home about, but, you know, such as it is. But other than that, I'll be seeing y'all around for the next off-road review collection, because I got several more I need to get planned out and get done. So, other than that, shoot the like button with a grip skin if you enjoyed, and please do comment down below your favorite You know, any other collections you want me to do. Any big vehicle collections you want to see me doing all that sort of nonsense, and, you know, please do comment on that. But, as always, smash the subscribe button today and click the notification bell icon to stay up to date and to become a cryptid. And as always, y'all have a great day and a ballin' weekend. Remember, don't do anything stupid. And if you want to build something like this, hey, by all means, go for it. Go for it. Build something crazy like this. So, other than that, y'all take care.